Now remember, all of these codes is under BG height greater than 5. Everything under here is display. Now this is I think it's CSS or some kind of styling. I don't know. Uh, you just do bracket style, double point, bold, and bracket close, plus inventory. This makes the UI text be like look a bit more thick, boldened. X large font at screen position 0 plus rolled up multiplied by 0.62. These numbers, again, I'll just like test that they look very nice together. Plus width multiplied by 5. Let me check my time real quick. 4 minutes, Jesus Christ. Square black with 4. I don't think I'll have enough time. I'll have to make 2 videos again. I hate YouTube. I could use my main, but whatever. Yeah, let's take it slow. Display square, black, width 4, height, whatever. This just makes a little fine line and it passes 0.5. These are just these 2 black lines below the inventory and above the UI buttons. That's all they are. Just sort of distinct between them. And basically to roll down, blah blah blah. These are all just positioning thing, and this is the display thing. Display tile cursor width 4, height 0.3. This will all stay in the middle of your scroll thing, just so you know like what item you're on. This is the basically tells you what icons you have to use. Like it's basically just a tooltip. Display mouse wheel. Now make sure you pull whatever icon you want to use from the gallery over here in the icons gallery. Mouse wheel. Same for F, X, and all these things. You don't want to pull them anywhere else. And you just say style bold plus scroll. Now these numbers, I specifically tinkered around with them to make them like adjusted. So yeah, you can just look at them and then put them in your thing. Now here's where the inventory display starts. So for each of, bracket open, inventory or equipment. I think you might not even need these brackets, but I don't know. I just put them together just in case. Current index equal to inventory selection. So what current index does is your for each will just constantly run a loop. It'll just keep checking for each item. And current index is basically the what loop it's on, equal to inventory selection. So let's say you're on like 5, it'll basically check, okay, so if this item is on the 5th and you press X, this line will always run because the inventory selection always will be on one of the current indexes. But it basically allows you to know on which selection point you are. X pressed, this is the drop function. You can change this to whatever button you want. This is keyboard X. I created with key, create a key, and then I pressed X. It, physics types, equals to tumbling. So it drops on the floor. And in case the item I dropped is equipped, I unequip it. And then I drop it. Theoretically, I don't think you would need this. I think you could run it like this. And it would maybe save your line of code, but it doesn't matter. This is just more safe. Now this is the equip function. F pressed, it is ranged or it is melee. Remember, we have to distinct between shields and whatnot. For each equipment, because right now this it here refers to the current index. So if it is ranged or it is melee weapon. Now we run for each equipment that you've equipped. Now this points to the equipment. So this thing is to the above, because that's how the code works in Project Spark. It always refers to like one of the earlier up things. Anyway, so it refers to the weapon you're equipped, is ranged or it is melee, pick it up. Now why do we have to specify this 2 times? Because for each equipment, a shield is also an equipment. So you need to like ask it once more. First, like if the weapon you have, the index like in your inventory, this thing is it a weapon that you can equip? Otherwise, if it's like non-equipable, it'll just ignore it. But if it isn't equipable, we want to equip it, right? Obviously, we just run the equip line here. But in case you have something equipped, you also want to put it back in inventory. Otherwise, it just drops it on the floor. Same thing goes for shields. So down here is F pressed. it is shield. For each equipment, it is shield. Pick it up. You can equip 2 shields, so obviously we just run for each, and then you equip the shield. Now down here is the display lines. This is the whole code that runs each of the display item thingy. So yeah, it's very important that we have this running. Current index. So remember, this is all under the for each loop. Okay, so this thing specifically, this thing runs under the for each loop down here. So if you pull this all the way up, oh wait, no, it doesn't. Wait, no, it does, never mind. As you can see, this line is adjacent or at the same level of the current index equal to blah, 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 whatever. Let's put it back on the bottom. Current index less than. Now this line of code all in the back here is just to make sure that if you're scrolling up and down, you don't want to display all the items, otherwise it's going to overflow from your inventory. So we say inventory selection +5. Then clamp it in again. And current index greater than -5. So we are only displaying, I think, 9 items at once, I think. Are we? I don't know, something like that. Yeah, let me check real quick. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so we're only displaying 9 because 0, it's max to 5 and 5 on each side, basically 4 on each side, but also 1 in the middle. So it's 9. Anyway, now you nest these codes under display it. Remember, we're running a for loop, so for each item and its current index, blah blah blah, display it scale 0.3 because items are bigger than UI, so you do use a smaller number. At screen position 0, which is your screen's natural center point, plus world down multiplied by open bracket, open bracket. I don't think you need this many bracket, but just to be safe, because sometimes math gets funky. Inventory selection divided by 10. Because we want to have a 0.1 difference when it's scrolling up and down, or if you're moving the scroll. The minus current index divided by 10, because obviously you'll have a lot of items. And then you do two close brackets in the back. You plus west multiplied by 0.7. So what this does is just basically displays each item, and then according to whatever position is in the inventory, this is for the for the inventory position, and this is just the scroll wheel position, and together you just basically get the Y positions of it. Display style bold plus it name. Remember this it refers to the inventory for each of the inventory items. At screen position 0 plus roll down multiplied by blah blah blah. Same as above, exact same code, except after you see here we just do 2 close brackets, but for this line we do minus 0.01. You don't need to add the 2 zeros, it just might. Project Spark does that, I don't know why. So the 0.01. This is because text and icons have a slightly, they're not quite adjacent, because text is centered, I think, and the icons start from the bottom, or I don't know, it's something like that. It just, you need a 0.01 difference. Then you plus west multiplied by 0.5, because 0.5 is the center X position of our inventory. That's why the icon is more to the left, because we do 0.7, like it's a 0.25 further than the other of the center. And then here we say if the item is equipped. So we're making sure the item is equipped. So if you're not, if it's a equipable item, if you have it equipped, we obviously want to notify that you have it equipped. We then say display. Now this equipped, you're gonna make sure that you pull it from the gallery. You can use whatever one of them here. I just use equipped because it's easier. Scale 0.3 at screen position 0 plus roll down multiplied by, and then you open brackets. All the same code as the above item with the icon display. Nothing has changed there. all the same. And down here, obviously we want to differentiate between equipable items and non-equipable items. Because our code, as we run above here, only looks for equipped items. We could just ignore this completely and allow us to equip whatever the hell we want. But, yeah. I prefer to have them distinct. So not, it is ranged weapon. So if it's not a ranged weapon, and it's also not a melee weapon, and it's also not a shield, then we'll display, again, you go into your gallery picker, type inventory. You can choose one from these or whichever. You can just choose inventory, but I specifically chose from inventory because some people who will read the tutorial and do not listen to the description will be like, okay, so from inventory, why does it not show up? But if you type inventory, it'll show up. But this is just a number because this is just an object set number. So people might get confused anyway. This is just for me to know. But you can just use inventory. Or you can actually use other icons as well. I just like the inventory back because it looks nice. Scale of 0.3. Exact same code as above. Except it's 0.3 obviously on this line. And there you have it. It's the simplest way to make an RPG inventory. You can pick up whatever and scroll it around and equip it. As you can see, I cannot scroll past, cannot scroll up. I can put in as many items as I want. I can also drop them all. I can open, close. And yeah, one more thing for those who don't know how I identify what to pick up. For the items that you want to be put in your inventory, just say once global items incremented by me. You could alternatively just say if interacted, it pick up me. And we ignore this line, so this does not run anymore. It just runs this line now. Works too. Works as well. But you would have to put that in there for each item. Actually, I only put this in the hammer, which is kind of funny. But as you can see, we can still pick up the hammer. Just drop it again, and bam, get up again. But it's much easier for later on if you have different types of codes stuff going on as well. Or you like, I don't know. There's some use cases for it. And yeah, that's how to make an RPG inventory. I hope you enjoyed. See ya.